The Racecourse Ground is about to witness the biggest transformation in its 146-year history, and it's going to blow your mind. We're talking £17 million of Hollywood money building a 5,500-seat fortress that'll make visiting teams wet themselves before they even step on the pitch. This isn't just stadium expansion, this is warfare. Right, let's cut to the chase and talk about what's really happening at Wrexham. Everyone's focused on the FX documentary and Ryan Reynolds' tweets, but the real story is happening with concrete and steel at the Racecourse Ground. First things first, this place is ancient. When I say ancient, I'm talking about hosting Wales' first international match in 1877. That's before your great-great-grandfather was even a twinkle in someone's eye. While Manchester United were still kicking balls around in muddy fields, the racecourse was already international standard. This ground has seen everything from Welsh miners celebrating cup victories to European nights that put bigger clubs to shame. Now here's where it gets spicy. The current Kop isn't being renovated, it's being completely demolished. Gone. Wiped off the face of the earth. Some old-timers are having heart attacks over this, screaming about destroying football heritage and it should be renovated back to the original look. Others are saying it's about bloody time someone dragged this place into the 21st century. The replacement? A 5,500-seat monster designed by Populous, the same architects who built Tottenham's billion-pound palace and Emirates Stadium. But here's the kicker. This single stand will hold more people than entire stadiums in League Two. We're cramming a small town's worth of lunatics into one section, all facing the same direction, all wanting blood. And let's talk about the design, because this isn't just another generic bowl. The facade uses Ruabon-style red brick with dynamic textures that echo the strata of coal and slate seams, representing the area's industrial heritage. They're literally building the region's mining history into the walls. The external brick facade is a nod to Wrexham's Terracottapolis nickname, a reference to the area's famous brick and tile works that once supplied half of Britain. The genius of Populous isn't just in making things look pretty. The roof is optimised to amplify sound from the spectators towards the pitch. This isn't accidental. It's acoustic warfare. Every chant, every song, every bit of abuse hurled at the opposition will ricochet off that roof and slam into the players like a physical force. Let's talk about the delays, because there have been plenty of delays. Plans announced, scrapped, redesigned, announced again. The original contractor, Buckingham Construction Group, went bust in August 2023 after demolition had already begun. Classic football project chaos. Then Morgan Sindall Construction came in as the main contractor, but work still hasn't properly started. Meanwhile, fans are stuck watching matches from what looks like temporary scaffolding borrowed from a construction site. The club promised the world and delivered a glorified shed. But Reynolds and McElhenney aren't idiots. They didn't buy Wrexham for the cameras. They spotted something every other investor missed. The Racecourse Ground sits on prime Welsh real estate, and they're not just building a football stadium. They're creating what marketing types call a destination venue. Translation? A place that makes money 365 days a year, not just when there's a match on. Here's what's really got people talking. The new stand meets UEFA Category 4 standards. That's Champions League level infrastructure. A club that was scrapping around in non-league 3 years ago is building facilities that could theoretically host European finals. The irony is delicious. The money aspect is where things get properly controversial. 17 million quid in public funding going to a club owned by two Hollywood millionaires. Half the country thinks it's the best investment Wales has ever made. The other half thinks it's corporate welfare with celebrity endorsement. Both sides are probably right. Do the math. Wrexham's total capacity is 13,341. The new Kop alone holds 5,500. That's over 40% of the entire ground crammed into one stand. When that thing's full and singing, visiting keepers are going to need therapy. But here's what the documentaries don't tell you about this place. The racecourse has hosted more Wales internationals than anywhere else. Cardiff's Fancy Stadium and Swansea's Liberty Stadium can keep their modern amenities. This place has the bloodline. When Wales played here, it was packed with proper fans, miners, steelworkers, people who'd rather miss their own wedding than a Wales match. The current Kop dates from 1972, built when Wrexham first played in Europe. Yeah, you read that right. This club was mixing it with continental opposition when Manchester City were still a second division joke. State-of-the-art in 1972 means absolutely nothing in 2025. No disabled access, concourses tighter than a nun's purse, and sightlines that'd challenge a periscope. The new design focuses on what Populous calls atmospheric engineering. Fancy words for, let's make this as loud as humanly possible. The acoustics are specifically designed to amplify crowd noise and funnel it straight onto the pitch. Away teams are going to hate coming here. Safe standing sections are back, properly done this time. None of the death trap terracing from the 80s. These are engineered spaces where you can stand safely while creating the kind of atmosphere that makes football special. Best of both worlds, modern safety with traditional passion. Here's the uncomfortable truth, this changes everything. When you add 5,500 seats to a ground, you're not just adding capacity, you're changing the entire matchday culture, the intimate atmosphere where everyone knows everyone gets replaced by something bigger, louder, inevitably more commercial. The hospitality sections aren't accidents. Reynolds and McElhenney understand that modern football runs on corporate entertainment as much as passionate support. Premium seating will cost more than some fans used to pay for entire season tickets. That's modern football's price of admission. Let's address the elephant: gentrification. When Hollywood A-listers buy your local club and start dropping millions on improvements, everything changes. Property values around the ground are already climbing. Local businesses are either cashing in or getting priced out. Progress always has casualties. The construction timeline is aggressive, which in stadium terms usually means prepare for delays. Weather, supply chains, planning complications, any of these can turn a one-year project into a three-year nightmare. The temporary stand isn't just temporary, it's insurance against reality. From a tactical perspective, the new COP becomes a weapon. Pack 5,500 people behind one goal, all singing in unison, and opposing players feel like they're facing a wall of pure hostility. Liverpool's COP is legendary for a reason. When thousands of people are willing you to fail from meters away, it messes with your head. The technical specs are impressive for a club recently in non-league. LED lighting, state-of-the-art sound systems, sightlines calculated to the millimetre. Every seat gets an unobstructed view, which sounds basic but is revolutionary for fans used to watching through other people's heads. The stand will feature angled planes and carved forms in the brick facade that create dynamic shadows and textures throughout the day. This isn't just function over form, it's architecture that tells a story. The engineering challenge is massive. Populous has to create a structure that can handle 5,500 people jumping in unison while meeting stringent safety requirements. The foundation work alone requires specialized techniques to support the acoustic engineering elements. The roof structure incorporates cantilever sections that maximize capacity while ensuring the sound amplification design actually works. One miscalculation and you get a library instead of a fortress. But is this what supporters actually want? The Racecourse's charm has always been its authenticity. Raw, unfiltered football atmosphere where fans are practically on top of the action. The new development, however well designed, represents a shift towards sanitized, commercialized football that's already neutered plenty of historic clubs. The counter-argument is simple. Without investment, clubs die. Wrexham was circling the financial drain before Reynolds and McElhenney arrived. The choice wasn't between authentic culture and corporate development, it was between development and extinction. What's fascinating is how this fits Wrexham's broader ambitions. They're not just aiming for the Premier League, they're building infrastructure that could sustain it. The new COP plus planned developments elsewhere could eventually create a 20,000 capacity venue. That's bigger than several current Premier League grounds. The ripple effects extend throughout North Wales. The region lacks world-class entertainment venues, but a modernised racecourse could host concerts, rugby matches, community events that would never have been considered Wrexham before. It's economic development disguised as football infrastructure. For players, the new COP changes everything. Imagine stepping onto that pitch with 5,500 people screaming your name from one massive stand. That's the kind of experience that creates legends or breaks careers. Home advantage is real, and Wrexham's about to manufacture it on an industrial scale. Global attention for this project is unprecedented. Stadium architects and football infrastructure experts worldwide are watching to see how you blend historic authenticity with modern requirements. If Populous nails this, the Wrexham Cop could become the template for similar projects across Europe. The fan culture aspect presents both opportunity and danger. Opportunity to create something special that honours the ground's history while embracing its future. Danger that the soul gets lost chasing capacity and revenue. The real test won't be opening day when everything's shiny and new. It'll be 5 years later when the novelty's worn off. The ultimate irony? This massively expensive, high-tech development is happening at a club built on being the scrappy underdog. But maybe that's perfect. Wrexham has always exceeded expectations and punched above their weight. The new Cop isn't just stadium expansion, it's a statement that survival isn't enough. They want domination. The project also serves as a fascinating case study in modern football economics. While clubs across Europe struggle with financial fair play regulations and mounting debts, Wrexham is demonstrating how celebrity ownership can unlock funding streams that traditional investors never access. The combination of public grants, private investment, and media attention creates a perfect storm of opportunity. Stadium design has evolved dramatically since the racecourse's last major renovation. Modern venues prioritise fan experience, accessibility and revenue generation in ways that simply weren't possible decades ago. The new Cop will feature concourses wide enough for proper matchday socialising, food and beverage outlets that don't require a mortgage to afford, and technology infrastructure that supports everything from mobile ticketing to social media broadcasting. But here's where Populous really shows their expertise. The stand will be wrapped by a brick facade looking onto a new public plaza. This isn't just stadium infrastructure, it's urban planning. The building will be visible from Wrexham city centre, creating a landmark that works 365 days a year, not just on match days. The external design references the geological strata of the local landscape while using modern construction techniques that'll last decades. The material selection is crucial. Ruabon brick isn't just aesthetic, it's sourced from local quarries and has historical significance in the region. Using it connects the new structure to centuries of Welsh industrial heritage while meeting contemporary durability standards. The dynamic textures aren't decorative flourishes. They're functional elements that manage weathering and create visual interest at different scales, from pedestrian level to distant views. The environmental considerations are also worth noting. Modern stadium construction emphasises sustainability in ways that would have been unthinkable in the 1970s. The new stand will incorporate energy-efficient systems, sustainable materials, and waste reduction strategies that align with broader environmental goals. From a community perspective, the development represents both promise and peril. Promise in terms of job creation, increased tourism, and regional economic development. Peril in terms of changing neighbourhood character and potential displacement of long-term residents and businesses. The UEFA Category 4 certification opens doors that extend far beyond Wrexham's immediate ambitions. International matches, major tournaments, and prestigious friendlies all become possibilities. The economic impact of hosting such events can be transformative for smaller cities and regions. The new Cop at the Racecourse Ground represents everything that's thrilling, terrifying and inevitable about modern football. It's an authentic tradition meeting Hollywood ambition, community spirit wrestling with commercial reality, and a small Welsh town preparing to make noise heard worldwide. Love it or hate it, when those 5,500 seats fill with passionate Wrexham supporters, the Racecourse Ground becomes one of the most intimidating venues in world football. That transformation is worth every penny of controversy it's generating. We are committed to releasing 2 videos a week. Like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more visionary builds.